Hi all, hope you are doing well. I wanted to shoot a quick first impression of this, the Ensso Bolt. It's a hotly anticipated fountain pen that was part of a Kickstarter campaign. It's a fully titanium fountain pen that uses a bolt action to extend and retract a retractable nib. And I've used this now for about a week, and I wanted to go ahead and give you my first impressions because many people are asking about it. I did purchase it with the optional clip, and I'll show the installation process for this clip in the full review. But overall, I do like this clip quite a bit. It has a nice flare out, so it's easy to get in and out of fabrics, and it is quite springy and functional. In terms of the bolt action itself, I found that the overall length to extend and retract the nib is a bit on the long side. If you have medium or smaller hands, you might find it's kind of a stretch. But as you use it more and more, it does become more second nature. Another thing that I noticed is right out of the box, this mechanism was quite stiff. But after I inked up this pen and I extended and retracted the nib a few times, it has smoothed out and become much more springy. But I have noticed a few things I don't like too much about this pen. I'm going to go ahead and show you some of those right now. So one issue that I've noticed already with this pen is that it's not very easy to check your ink. In order to check your ink, you actually have to disassemble it, which involves unscrewing this nose cone and then removing the entire nib unit as well as the spring. And I have often gotten my fingers inky while I'm doing this disassembly. I'm trying to be careful here not to, but you can see that that's not the most eloquent way to be able to check your ink level. I'm going to just pop this back in. Another issue that I've noticed is that the nib does freely spin within this barrel itself. During the initial videos and instructions for this, they do mention that you can extend the nib and use a paper towel to align it with other features. So here I'm going to try and align it with the clip itself. Can see that it is kind of a messy process. I am already starting to get some stains. So there it's pretty well aligned. But then if I close the nib and extend it a few times, the nib itself actually starts to rotate out of position. So that's been somewhat frustrating for me and a little bit disappointing because the nib is quite small, so it's kind of difficult to make sure that you have it aligned properly. Let me go ahead and pull in some paper and give you a quick writing sample. So again, this is the Ensso. We call it the Bolt. I have the fine nib and it is very well tuned. It is stainless steel. Has really nice flow. It's smooth. Doesn't have much bounce, but that's okay. And then in terms of the ink, I am using a Waterman ink. This is called Tender Purple. For flex, you can't really expect much with this style pen, and it is quite stiff, and for reverse writing. It's actually very smooth and gives you a finer line, but it does get kind of dried out towards the end, so I wouldn't recommend it for reverse writing. So there's a quick first impression of the Ensso Bolt. I am a fan of this pen, but I do see some potential issues, but I'll leave my final judgment for my full review, which you should see in a few weeks. And I just want to say, thank you for watching.